Good afternoon, this is Tom Ruggie. I am the CEO of Destiny Family Office, a part of Destiny Wealth Partners. And today we're not going to be talking wealth management, but we're going to be talking baseball cards, and in particular about my personal collection, which centers around autographed baseball cards. Back in the day, getting autographs on cards was a little bit taboo, but as we sit today, it's become a pretty big business, and the auction houses are doing quite well selling these cards. So I'm first going to go through the honorable mentions. I've got a pretty significant collection of signed cards, so to narrow it down to a top 10 was pretty difficult for me to do. So I'm going to mention some honorable mentions, cards that almost made the cut, and then I'm going to go through the cards starting at 10 and going down to 1. And then finally, I will finish off with kind of what's on my bucket list to round out or complete my set. I'll start off with the honorable mentions, cards that came pretty close to making the cut but did not, or at least players with cards. So the 1953 Jackie Robinson, actually the 53 set is one of my favorite sets. I love the Jackie Robinson. I love the Willie Mays from that set as well. Second is 55 Clemente. I have a lot of signed rookie cards, and the 55 Clemente happens to be one of them. Same goes for the 62 Lou Brock, but what really has always fascinated me about that card is when I think of Lou Brock, I think of the St. Louis Cardinals, but he actually started his career with the Cubs, and when I was young and getting into collecting, I was always fascinated by that particular card. Aaron, I've got quite a few signed Hank Aaron cards. Of course, the ones that stand out is his rookie card, the 54, which I do have. And then one of my favorite cards, just for the aesthetic look of it, is the 1970 Hank Aaron card. Tom Seaver, also have a number of his cards. You'll see as I go through this, I tend to like cards that either have the All-Star emblem or Rookie of the Year trophy or something along that line. So for Seaver, I'm a big fan of his 68 version, not his rookie card of 67, which I also have. One of my favorite players growing up when I first started following baseball was Rod Carew. Used to always love watching him play. So he actually was probably number 11 on the list, and I wasn't even sure what card I was going to display. But my two favorite cards of Carew are his second year card, much like Seaver, the 68 with the rookie trophy, but also the 1978 Topps card is one of my favorites. Johnny Bench, whoever did the photographs, in my view, for Topps, always seemed to do a good job getting great photos of Johnny Bench. I do like his rookie card, although it's a shared card, which I don't tend to like, but I've always been drawn to that card. So I do have that one, but also a fan of his 73, his 76, and his 78 cards are all favorites of mine. And then finally, rounding off the honorable mentions is actually two more. One is the 55 Bowman Pee Wee Reese, which I think is just a beautiful aesthetic card. And then finally, I'm not a big collector of modern day cards, but I did pick up a couple of Otanis at the National Convention this year, and I'm very drawn to him as a player doing the things that he's doing. So those are my honorable mentions, and with that, I will get to my top 10 list. Number 10 is the 1961 Whitey Ford. Now, 1961 is actually my favorite set. It is the first set that I started collecting, trying to get the entire set autographed. I think I'm 7 or 8 cards short from having that completed as we sit today. I actually had a difficult time picking which card I would want from this set. Other cards that I really like from this set in particular would be the Carl Yastrzemski card, the Rogers Hornsby card, which, giving this away in advance, I've got another one of his card that made the list, and also the Roberto Clemente, I think is a great looking card from that set. Number 9, with no further ado, is the Rogers Hornsby card. I think this is an amazing looking card. It's in great condition. It has a great signature. I do collect a lot of older cards. I don't have, I'm not trying to get any sort of a set signed or anything like that pre-1952, or actually technically 1951. I'm trying to get the 51 Bowman set signed. But when I have an opportunity, I do enjoy picking up the pre-1950 cards, especially where possible and where affordable, for some of the star players. And this Rogers Hornsby card, I believe, is a beautiful card. Number 8 on my list is a 1999 Topps Gallery of Mark McGwire. I have, this was a short set of 20 cards. I have 19 of them signed. The reason the McGwire card is so personal to me is during that time frame, I was going to some ballparks during spring training and getting autographs of players, and I was able to get this autograph at one of those games down in Jupiter, Florida. And this is the coming off of McGwire breaking the home run record, which was an amazing time for baseball. And obviously there was a tremendous amount of fanfare for people trying to get his autograph and get pictures and whatnot. And I was able to sneak in and get this card signed. And despite everything that has happened with McGwire regarding the steroid use and all that sort of thing, I felt like that was just a tremendous period in baseball to be a fan and to watch what was happening. And I continue to be a big fan of Mark McGwire. Number 7 on the list, this one goes back to being a youth. And this is the 1979 Reggie Jackson. So I started following baseball in 1978, actually technically 77. So I started collecting cards, the 78 series. And of course, the Yankees were the team to beat at that point. And I was living down in South Florida, and my best friend down there is who got me into collecting baseball cards, and to some extent even got me into baseball, period. And he was from New York and a huge Yankees fan, and his dad was a professional photographer. And so we went to a few spring training games and got to get on the field and that sort of thing. And, Reggie Jackson was a very popular player at that point. And I love the look of this card, but what's interesting about it is that when these cards came out, I was opening wax packs, and I just remember the feeling that I got when the cards had just been released and I opened a pack up and there was the Reggie Jackson card. And ironically, many years later, I bought a box of unopened 79 Topps, and I sat on it for a while, but then decided I wanted to open it, wanted to have fun with it. And ironically, even at a much advanced age, when I opened that pack up and got a Reggie Jackson, I still had that same feeling. So this card had to make the list. By the way, I'm not necessarily a huge Reggie Jackson fan. I mean, I am a fan, but like Bench, a lot of his cards could have made the list. I think the 73 Jackson is a great looking card. I love the rookie card, the 1969. And I also like the 1976 Reggie Jackson, which 76 I think is also one of my favorite years. Great looking cards, a set that I am trying to complete getting on. Next on the list, which is number 6, another Yankee. This is the Thurman Munson card. Much like I spoke about with Carew and Seaver, this is actually his second year card. I do not have his rookie card autographed, but I love this card. I think it's a great photo. I love the rookie card, or the Rookie of the Year trophy on the card. And though I don't have Munson's rookie card, I do have quite a few. I have his 76, I have his 78, I have the 79, which is a very cool card because obviously he passed away in 79, so there aren't very many of those, and that is one of the sets that I did start working on and actually have completed that set. I have the entire set signed, but beautiful Thurman Munson card. Number 5 on my list, Pete Rose. Much like the predecessor here, the Munson card, this is his second year card. I do have Rose's rookie card signed, which is a card that's grouped with 3 other players. But growing up as a young kid, getting into the collecting of cards, this was always a card that I coveted and just thought it was a great look, a great card. Of course, Rose was a great player, again, despite the fact that he'll probably never make it into the Hall of Fame, although he certainly has the credentials to be there. He was an exciting player to watch, and was very happy to get this card in this condition signed. He actually got this in person from Pete Rose. I have quite a few other Pete Rose cards signed, but that one is certainly my favorite. On to number 4. Aside from potentially the Honus Wagner card, probably the holy grail of baseball cards. And I think those of you listening to this might be surprised that it's all the way down on the list at number 4, but it is the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle card. And this card is authentic. It is a trimmed card, so it presents very well, which obviously I'm very happy about. But technically, it is a trimmed card. The autograph on it looks amazing. The card itself looks amazing. Fortunately for me, I started collecting the 1952 set, working on getting the entire set autographed. Prior to doing that, as I was really just trying to accumulate the star cards that I wanted before I started really putting emphasis on getting complete sets, I was able to purchase at a significant discount from what it's worth today. I was able to purchase this card. I purchased the 52 Mays, purchased a couple others from the 52 set. So when I went on the journey, and it is quite a journey of working towards that 52 set to get the entire set signed, I had certainly 2 of the most valuable cards already signed at a significant discount in cost to what they would cost today. Number 3 is who I've always considered to be my favorite player of all time. This is a 1951 Bowman Willie Mays. It's a rookie card. Beckett has it graded at 5.5, and the autograph is a 10. Absolutely gorgeous card, gorgeous autograph. I wore 24 in high school playing baseball because, like I said, Willie Mays was my favorite player. I'll bet I probably have 25 or 30 Mays signed cards. Other cards that could have made this list, of course, would have been the 52 Topps. I think the 54 Topps is a great looking card. I think the 56 Topps is a great looking card. In fact, the 56 set is one of my favorite sets, and one of the first sets that I did start working on to get completed. Yet ironically, I don't have any cards from that set in my top 10 list, but a gorgeous set and a gorgeous card of Willie Mays. Number 2 is a card that I also coveted very much growing up, and even back in that time, it was too expensive for me to pick up in the condition I would like to have it. And fast forward, fortunately, I'm able to have one autographed at this point, but it's a 1941 play ball of Joe DiMaggio. And I've got a few signed Joe DiMaggio cards as well, including the 39, which is it's a black and white, but it's a great looking card with a great looking autograph. But to me, this card is just a very aesthetically pleasing card, and has always been towards the top of my list of favorite cards out there. And then finally, I will finish up with my number 1 card, and always felt like this was A, a gorgeous card from a gorgeous set, B, there are not very many cards of this player, and C, again, growing up and reading a lot and listening to a lot, you used to always hear these stories about Satchel Paige. And this is the 1953 Topps of Satchel Paige. Again, a gorgeous looking card, a gorgeous autograph on it. Like a lot of my cards, when I was initially sending them into PSA, the card itself is not graded, but this card would grade very well. And didn't start trying to complete this set until a little bit later, but it is a set I am working on at this point. But like I mentioned with the 52 set, I was fortunate to have a lot of stars already from this set when I started along the process of working on the entire set. And that's because I like the star cards, I like cards that aesthetically are pleasing, and the 53 set is a gorgeous set. So, as already mentioned, I've got the Jackie Robinson, I had the Willie Mays, I had the Mickey Mantle, The beautiful, beautiful card signed, and this one is my absolute favorite. I hope you've enjoyed the presentation of the top 10 favorite cards that I have. Of course, all of them are signed. I did sell the majority, virtually 100% of my non-signed baseball card collection many years ago, so my collection really consists of signed cards at this point. The only thing I'll leave you off with is what else is on my bucket list. And my 52 set, I am 9 cards short on that set, and 2 of those cards are pretty popular players, difficult to get. One is Jackie Robinson, which is the 52 Jackie Robinson. Is an absolutely gorgeous card. Hope to have that at some point in the near future. And I'm also missing the Roy Campanella card from that set. The other 7 I'm missing are players that are very difficult to get, but they are not household name players. So two of my bucket list is the 52 Jackie Robinson, the 52 Roy Campanella. Also on my bucket list is at least one, if not multiple, signed Babe Ruth cards. I've never owned a Babe Ruth card signed. I do have quite a number of photos and whatnot of Babe Ruth, but the market on signed Babe Ruth cards is pretty crazy at this point. Yet, in hindsight, even 10 years ago when I thought it was crazy at that point, it would have been a really nice investment to go ahead and pick those up. Along that same lines, I'd like to have, in particular, I like the 1934 Gowdy Lou Gehrig. The 1933 Gowdy is also a nice card. In fact, I did own at one point the 33 Gowdy card, but it was signed in pencil, and it was a little bit light, and it wasn't as aesthetically pleasing. And frankly, I sold it at a point where I thought the market was at a peak, and in hindsight, I probably would get multiples at this point of what I sold it for, and it wasn't sold that long ago. But perhaps I'll own that card again, or maybe the more coveted 34 Gehrig. Would love to have a Ty Cobb. In particular, I like the 1933 Sports King Ty Cobb. Bid on that quite a number of years ago. Gorgeous card, gorgeous signature. Got out of my price range, and again would probably kick myself at this point for not purchasing for what I could have purchased it for at that point. And then finally, not a specific card, but anytime I can pick up any of the 1909 to 1911 T206 cards, I enjoy picking those up. I probably have about 18 or 20 signed at this point, and anytime they become available and reasonable to pick up, I will pick those up as well, as I just think they're super cool. So again, with that, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed, and look forward to sharing more with you in the future.